CJ's Green Room. Is it good? I don't know. There's a 4 green screens out of 5.
What's happening, everybody? My name is Charles Waits, and this is the Current Gaming Podcast. Today, I am joined by none other than Trophy Pops himself, Drew Scheffler. How's it going, buddy?
It's going well. I prefer what you said before we started here. I would like to be called the Black Lung.
The Black Lung. You're sick. So Drew's sick for everybody
Sick.
listening at home.
Yeah.
You're not feeling.
I'm still here.
The congestion. You got the conjunctivitis.
Yeah, and I got the menopause heat wave, every off again, sweating. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I can't breathe.
Every time I sleep.
That's when you sleep. Yeah, it makes sense.
That's how
All
that
right.
is for me. Critically. Oh no, I was gonna say. Oh, toxic mercy player Cheyenne. How's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Me, Bobby, and David were playing Overwatch or PUBG last night.
Oh my god!
And Cheyenne, I could hear her clearer than David, yelling at the top of her lungs.
I don't remember.
Get
what
on
I
the
was saying.
fucking point. This is
She
the
said
hardest part of the fight.
She didn't remember. She blacked out.
Oh no,
during
I
that
was
part.
mad because I was lagging, and I was blaming
I didn't do anything.
David and his.
That's alright. I blame
that
CJ
shitty
for my Skype
PUBG.
problems too.
Yes,
so.
Yeah,
very
that's
fair.
true.
From atop his trash throne, David Morgan.
I like that.
So you were
Like
you
a
were,
raccoon.
you were heading home from from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah.
45013 area code 513. What up?
Stop.
And you were going back to
They'll
your
find us.
to your home in Columbus, Ohio.
Yep.
And you
Give me that area code and zip and
Yeah, my
and
social
phone
security
number.
My
But
social.
and you came across something in the dumpster. What was that?
This chair.
Yeah.
It's a DX Racer, which is apparently like the Twitch brand.
Yeah,
It's like
vroom, vroom.
the meme chair that everybody uses. I got it, and I was super hyped because I was just talking to Cheyenne the day before we left about how bad I needed a new computer chair. I was like, oh, maybe Christmas or something. I'll get some cash together and go buy one, but no need because this one worked out just fine. It came with a lumbar support pillow.
Floor at the
I
moment.
tried. I didn't like it, and now it was hurting my back a lot.
You say it came with one like you bought it, but you just picked it up out of
Yeah,
the trash.
it came with one.
There was a trash pillow
And
on
also
top of the
came
Thrown
trash
out
chair.
with one. Yeah, the trash
It also
pillow.
came with an arm with duct tape all over it.
Yeah, I took
so
those
are
off.
gone.
I took Allen wrench from work, took the arms off like a real fucking
If you
handyman.
can see
and,
in that chair back there, one of the arms has duct tape on it. I'm pretty sure.
it's just
That's
the
actually
sign of the
a
times.
real gamer chair if you got duct tape on the arms.
That
So-
is a real
True.
gamer chair. That's how you. That's
And it's
how.
got brown stains on the seat. I'm just gonna.
That's
tell you.
whoa. Yeah, somebody.
I cleaned them, but the stains are still there.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody was on the old Bang Bros on that computer, but that's neither here nor there. We got a good show for you this week. We're talking about all kinds of fun stuff. We got Nintendo news, of course. Talking about E3, and the biggest E3 news of this week has nothing to do with anything that was officially announced, but it appears Walmart leaked a bunch of E3 shit that happened. This story comes from Variety and Stephanie Fogel. It says Walmart Canada apparently leaked a bunch of unannounced video game titles on its website Wednesday. The listings include pre-orders for AAA titles such as Rage 2, Just Cause 4, Gears of War 5, Borderlands 3, and Lego DC Villains. There were also placeholders for sequels that we know about, such as Tom Clancy's The Division 2, Beyond Good and Evil 2, The Last of Us 2. We're a lot of twos. Those are all the pre-announced titles. Many of the leaked games have since been removed from the site, but you can check them out in this screen grab courtesy of Warrior64. He was the one that, of course, did all that. And they might not be accurate, but take them with a grain of salt. But it's likely Walmart just spoiled a couple of E3 surprises. So what are we making all this stuff?
Don't forget Forza Horizons 5.
They're skipping number
Yeah.
4.
They just skipped
We don't need
4
it.
and also misspelled the name.
That's what Drew was telling me. Is like, I would believe it if it was Forza Horizon 9, because everybody skips like 9, like Windows 9 and iPhone 9
Yeah.
or whatever.
That'd be funny.
But
I would have
Let me get a
believed it
statement.
if that were the case, but I don't know. I'm sure there's some of these are accurate. I really hope Splinter Cell's accurate. Honestly, out of everything on the list, that's what I hope is most accurate.
The only one in here that I couldn't have just told you was already going to happen is something called Destiny Comet.
Oh, Destiny
What is
Comet
that?
is
What does that mean?
That's the like fall expansion kind of thing.
Okay.
That was the code name that they had used like back in the day.
That's them saving the game
Gotcha.
again for the second time.
Yeah.
I don't know. None of these are like these are all. like you really needed this to tell us that there was going to be another Assassin's Creed game?
Yeah,
Like,
Assassin's
No.
Creed,
Yeah.
Gears of War 5, Borderlands 3. I don't think those are any big surprises. The surprises, of course, I think, are Rage 2. Because what the
Yeah.
fuck, Rage was not a.
Well, what?
What?
Yeah, it wasn't great. But
I'm not
like,
saying it
what
was
did
like
I
a terrible game or
It's
anything,
just-
but it
it
was.
wasn't-
Rage.
But what did I
Popular.
but what did I say when we talked about this was that Bethesda's been kind of on a roll recently, and if anybody can save like a series that they've done, like that's probably one of them. They could probably do something with that. Like I mean, there was so much hype and promise
Fallout.
around the first Rage, you know, that I mean, I don't know. I was surprised to see Rage 2. Nothing else surprised me.
Just Cause 4, I think, is
Yeah.
another surprise. I don't think Just Cause 3 lit the world on fire.
No,
It was
pretty
fun,
mediocre,
though.
Plus, it was
I thought.
fairly recent. Like,
No,
It
I'm
was a few
expecting
years
a
back.
new one anytime
2
soon.
years ago, right?
2 years.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
like,
not
It's like sequel
not like
time.
last year or anything.
But
I
then
don't know.
and then too, like I was reading some of the like the responses on Twitter and everything. People were like, "Oh, Assassin's Creed. They said we weren't getting one this year." Well, how many games do we see at E3 that come out this year? Like this,
No,
this
it'll be
they're
next
just
year's thing.
yeah, they're just here telling you that
Yeah.
we're working on these games and like, you know, the only one like I've already said, I hope that Splinter Cell comes out this year.
Splinter Cell, I think,
I
is.
don't know.
the-
Fallout 4 came out this same. It came out in November.
Yeah, but
After
nobody
E3.
like how many people actually do that? Like
Also,
very
the
few,
thing
I
about
feel like.
Assassin's Creed is that like Kotaku leaks what Assassin's Creed is every year, like when it comes out, like a tradition.
Yeah,
and like
that's
they have
true.
not done that, so like,
Yeah, I'm ambivalent to this list. If it ends up being true, whatever. If not, I really hope there are other surprises for us at E3.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to the really good episode of Split Screen Podcast, Kotaku, with Jason Schreier and Kirk Campbellton. They were talking about essentially the hype behind the secrecy of the gaming industry and how they don't talk about things that are in development. They want the big reveal. Initially, I was like, the big reveal's stupid. We should just be able to know what they know. But then I thought about it, and I was like, those big moments are like, I like have some really fond memories of E3.
Not
and,
even
like, the
E3,
Game Awards and
Bayonetta
stuff.
3 from the fucking Game
Yeah.
Awards.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
when they
that-
announced
that was crazy.
When they announced Psychonauts 2, I threw myself on the floor and just screamed. Like she can attest to this. It was like one of the most emotional, shitty moments I've had, and it was amazing. And I think those moments are great, and I think that it's fine to keep it in hiding. And I think it's kind of lame to. This of all things, this is like a wet fart. It's just like, here you go. This is the fucking titles on like black
Right.
black backgrounds, and
Yeah.
here it
Yeah.
is. It's just like whatever. I hope there's
Yeah.
more. I mean, there will be.
I
think there will be.
Oh, sorry. I think some of the
No, you go
secrecy around video games is like a little overblown at times. Like there is no need for publishers and stuff to keep things this airtight where they're under such lock and key where they don't tell voice actors what game they're working on and stuff like that. Where it's
No,
like,
that's
Yeah.
silly.
it gets
but-
like overblown to a certain degree. But I understand you want that big reveal moment, and especially the way I mean, I understand like fuck if I find out about it, I can tell you about it. Like that's no big deal. Like I'm not adhering to like a PR company's like plans or anything like that. But like I understand like that stuff does like matter to a lot of fans, and it's really cool when you get like the official like time to announce this thing. Like when Smash got announced, that was like a really cool moment for everybody earlier this year. And I don't know, it just like I go back and forth to where like do you remember last year when, or it was 2 years ago, I can't remember, but like a half hour before their conference, Microsoft's entire conference like leaked on like fucking Reddit or 4chan or something like
Oh
this.
no, I didn't.
It was like the entire thing, like, but like no one like believed it like half-heartedly, you know what I'm saying? But like it was like dead, like going back.
I don't know.
to,
There's like
dead
a
spot.
huge Nintendo like leak that has so far been accurate, detailing the online service. We talked about this, right?
Yes,
Me
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
You, but it detailed the virtual console wasn't going to be a thing, and then it talked about all these things that were going to be announced: CD3, Mario Odyssey, DLC, and stuff. If that ends up being true, I will be shocked. I'll also be like pretty hyped because it was a pretty good lineup of stuff. But yeah, the games industry is interesting because like the movies, like when things are in development because of just like press release, not even press releases, but just like disclosures.
Well, the way
and,
the way the Marvel movies work, you knew up until like you've known the schedule that's like so far out up from way back in like 2014. I think you've known like when every movie was coming around the time frame they were coming. There's this one really cool video of when they announced all that stuff, of them announcing all the titles, and like they even like play a joke where they're like they call Captain America Civil War Captain America something else, and then they're like, nah, we didn't like that title, and they bring it back and all the audience
No,
goes crazy.
it's
It's
funny.
really cool, but like I don't know, there's not as much secrecy because like number one, like you have to film things out in public, like so it's a lot harder to
Yeah.
cover that up. And number two, like, it's just, I don't know, that's just the way Hollywood is, I guess. That, like, historically.
Well, it's a double-edged sword, though, because on the one hand, you know what's being made, and then on the other hand, like, most of that shit ends up, like, canned. Like, think of all the video game movies you've heard were in production, and none of them ever happened. So I'd almost rather
to this biopic, and then another director, and it's like in limbo for.
I'd almost rather not know.
Yeah, or like a movie does get made, but then it doesn't get distributed by anyone, so like you can't really find it anywhere. You can't see it. So.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all very interesting, and I'm sure we'll be talking about much more E3 stuff as we
hypey, to be honest.
Can't wait.
This next story is about Google and Google Chrome apparently breaking
Google.
a bunch of Flash games. So
That's a good meme.
This story comes from Waypoint and Patrick Klepek. I thought it was interesting, and it starts out with a quote. It says, "I cannot think of a more comparable moment where one team of developers killed so much internet culture in one unilateral move." Quote, end quote. That's how Bennett Foddy, designer of QWOP and Getting Over It, tried to describe how seeing a seemingly minor quality of life fix for the Chrome web browser has potentially devastating impact on games. Here's what happened. Over the weekend, Google pushed out a series of changes to its enormously popular Chrome web browser, hoping to fix one of the internet's greatest annoyances, auto-playing videos with sound. A noble quest, but one with unexpected consequences. As soon as the feature went live, it broke all kinds of web content that relies on audio, including games. The component of those games, sound, now doesn't work unless the designers intervene. In trying to address the legitimate problem of auto-playing videos, a shitty marketing I read that all fucked up. A shitty marketing and advertising tactic to trick you into viewing a video, Google messed with and changed the open standards of all sorts of developers who had been working with. I don't know, fuck it.
It's okay.
Not every website has been banned from auto-playing videos. However, certain websites have been whitelisted. Users can opt in, and there's a fuzzy metric whereby if someone's media engagement index threshold has been crossed, videos start auto-playing again. So basically, Google tried to stop auto-playing ads, and it killed a bunch of Flash games. Yeah, you remember Flash games? Flash games were fun in middle school.
Yeah, now the new hype is to remake your Flash game and sell it on Steam, and people will eat it up because it's good.
Yeah.
Those games are worth paying for most of the time. Look at like Alien Hum did. So I'm confused. So this basically just fucks with the ability to start the game. But I mean, isn't this just like downloading a third-party software like Shock? Remember when you download what was it called? Shockwave?
Shockwave? Yeah, Shockwave.
You had to download that to play
there's
Flash
an F word
games.
too.
Well, you had to download Flash.
Well, that's like the Flash
like-
player. That's the Flash player.
Yeah.
Like,
It wasn't
your browser
like
already has that.
Pretty much all of my online. I mean, but like at the same time, like, are you playing Flash? Who's playing? I don't know. That
I
might
don't
be
think
ignorant of me to
I don't
say.
think the problem anybody would say is that they are playing Flash.
It's like
games.
historic.
It's just like how nonchalantly and like without fucking. Like,
This is only on Chrome though, right?
it is only on Chrome.
Yeah,
yes,
but
Seems like a lot of doom saying.
I don't know. Everybody uses
A
Chrome.
lot of people use Chrome.
If you're
Look at
our
it.
age and you where the people that played Flash games, you're probably using Chrome.
Look at it this way. What are these middle school and high school kids gonna do now?
I know. How are they gonna play
Computer
Kiss?
class. They have iPads in school
Yeah.
now. They can play
Yeah,
fucking
well, that's true.
They're
They can play
playing
Hearthstone and stuff.
Flappy Bird.
whatever. PUBG, Fortnite.
Well, I think it's more
they're
like
playing
some of these
Fortnite
older
almost.
games that
Yeah, that's
like
true.
everyone did play, and now like, you know, sometimes people go back and play those or like show those to people or whatever. But
I can't believe there
now
hasn't
you
been a
can't.
move to put these up on Steam for like free. Is that not a thing that?
I don't know. I don't
I mean,
know.
that
how-
requires time and effort on somebody's
Yeah,
part.
I guess
don't
it
know how
costs some
difficult
money,
that would
but-
be because you'd have to not have it be. A
I don't know. It's a
game.
bummer for sure. I'm not saying it's not. It's just I'm sure there's gonna be a workaround in like 2 days. This seems like
the
a lot.
story
It
came
seems
out
like
like
an
at the end of the early this week. There's not a.
It's
apocalyptic,
been 2 days, but-
I'm not saying that it's apocalyptic. It's just it would be shitty if like just like how the way the games industry is treated. It's always the newest thing. The new thing is what everybody's caring about and stuff like that. We don't always reflect on things that have come out in the past, especially things that like I played so many fucking Flash games as a kid, like in Mr. Gross's class. In Mr. Regular's class, dude. I was
I played RuneScape and
I
that
was up
shit,
there
dude.
playing RuneScape and fucking QWOP was a big. Oh, Matt Hibbard was a fucking beast. And I don't know. That's a bummer to me.
Like,
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I fucking lost my train of thought. I think that there will be I don't think this wasn't intentional to do this, so I'm sure Google's gonna find some way to rectify this pretty quickly if enough noise is made. I mean, it depends on how the developers feel. Obviously, you know, I'd be upset if my work that was just out there on the internet just wasn't working anymore. At no fault of my own, but it seems like something Google could rectify pretty quickly. At least I would hope so. Their engineers probably have a fix, hopefully in the works. I'm confident that this is not a permanent.
You're I don't know. I don't trust Google that much.
I'm not naysaying this just yet. We'll see. I won't see because I don't play these games, but
I'm
we'll
sure
see
there
if
will be a story written about it at some point. I just thought it was an interesting thing because Flash games are cool. This next story, maybe a little more pertinent to all of us, is about Nintendo's online service. It comes from Nintendo Life's Nick Vogel. It says this is just the PR statement, basically. In the U.S., pricing will be handled for the online service will be handled in 4 different tiers, which are as follows: 1 month for $4, 3 months for $8, 12 months for $20, and there's a family membership that's up to 8 different Nintendo accounts on different systems. We'll all be able to use it for $35 a year. As for amenities, they will be that will be included alongside online play. The service will come up with a virtual console-like style collection of NES games that subscribers will have free access to. The titles available at launch are as follows: Balloon Fight, Dr. Mario, Super Mario Brothers 3. Oh, that's Super Mario. Oh yeah, it is later. Donkey Kong, Ice Climbers, The Legend of Zelda, Mario Brothers, Soccer, Super Mario Brothers. No, what?
Soccer.
Mario Brothers Soccer. I'm an idiot. Super Mario Brothers Tennis. 10 more unannounced games will also be available at launch, and more will be added on a regular basis. All of these games will include voice chat and online multiplayer support, as well as the ability to watch streams of friends' games. Another feature that will be included is the option for cloud save backups, which has been highly requested by the community since launch. Specifics are thin, but Nintendo says the backups for most Switch games will be stored online. What is that? Aren't they all gonna, if they're cloud backups, aren't they all gonna be stored online? And this just a reminder, that's me editorializing. And just as a reminder, the service officially goes live in September 2018. And then follow up in a story from Kotaku's Jason Schreier. They gave a comment on Virtual Console, basically saying there are currently no plans to bring classic games together under the Virtual Console banner. As has been done with other Nintendo systems. The spokesperson told Kotaku in an email late last night. So we now see the future of Nintendo's online plans / Virtual Console / cloud saves and stuff. What thoughts?
Well, I hope that they bring more of those games than just those 10 classic games.
It's not enough. It's like they've stretched the price to value ratio as thin as it can possibly go without breaking. Because at $4 a month, you're like, fuck, that's not that much at all, and I can do a family plan, and that's no problem. But then you look at it, and it's like, I've already got online for these games that it's going to have online for. I'm getting some NES games that I could literally go and just get a fucking ROM of in 5 seconds online right now.
That is illegal.
And then,
Yes,
I mean, what the fuck?
And it's illegal unless you own a copy, actually.
If you have 2 brain cells, you could get a ROM of any NES game in literally
you
1
have
second.
multiple brain cells, you can rob a bank. That doesn't make it okay. It's not equating emulation to robbing a bank,
All right,
but it is illegal.
But is it? Look at what PlayStation is. I mean, I don't even know if their fucking shit's that valuable. It's like. It's like cloud saves, which should have been there in the first place. Absolutely should have been there in the first place. So the only added value you're getting are these NES games. And it's like, I don't want to pay a subscription fee to play fucking 10 NES games that I have literally, personally, no desire to play. So I'm really hoping
you don't want to play Super Mario Brothers 3?
I guess, it's fine.
No.
But I'm just hoping that they will add SNES games later, N64 games later. In place of the Virtual Console, maybe they'll go through the whole history.
Yeah.
This is not me being cynical. This is me literally saying for the value of $4 a month. I saw you, motherfucker. It's just that for $4 a month, I expect more than for $4 once. I should be able to buy all of those games right off. $4 is the.
They were $5 a piece on Virtual Console.
That's robbery. But I mean,
but people bought them every time.
I know, because they're fucking starved. I just don't get it.
Well, I guess my only thing is I agree with Cheyenne. The save data, the cloud backup, should have been there from the beginning.
Absolutely. It's
I mean
standard.
that one, it should be there from the beginning, and 2, with issues and prominent game figures such as Brian Altano losing his stuff and like talking about it. Like, this isn't something we should have to pay for.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, if you get your Switch stolen and it's a portable fucking system, like, that is gonna happen to people. Or if you don't get stolen, you just lose it. Like,
drop it. Anything.
Yeah.
Just
like the save data thing, it shouldn't be behind the paywall. The free games, they have the 10 and then 10 more. The multiplayer support is kind of cool, but like the issue is like the online sucks anyways. You know, it doesn't really work that well. There's there's not a great connection.
That's the thing for me.
Like, am I gonna start having to pay for it?
It begs the question of what you're paying for.
If I paid, so the $20 option equates to like $1.50 a month or something like that, which is like not that much money. But if I'm like paying it for nothing, like that's annoying. And the fact that like if the online multiplayer still sucks dick, that's unacceptable. Like. Yeah. It's annoying.
But PSN sucks, dick. We pay for that out the ass.
It's not.
No, it doesn't.
Not on a regular basis, but like,
not on
intermittently, it's trash.
Not on any comparable level does it suck.
Downloading on PSN is like
that's terrible.
It's like putting Play-Doh into one of those little pushers, and then you watch it come out. It's just so fucking slow, and it's like just download my shit.
Literally playing games on the Switch. Like I play more. I have 80 or 70 hours in Mario Kart. And, like, a good 15 of that is just me getting into games and not getting in them or disconnecting constantly.
Fair. I mean, totally. Maybe this $1.50 a month will help them fix their whole online infrastructure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it needs to get fucking fixed. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah. Well, it's just not enough.
No, I agree. I don't think it's enough. They said members will also receive special offers. I think it'd be cool to see.
PSN sales.
I think it would be cool to do like PSN sales, but like specifically seeing sales on Nintendo first-party games, even if it's like 10-15%. They never go on sale. So like if I'm gonna pay for your online service, like I expect like some sort of incentive for that.
I have no doubt.
With PS Plus, like I get discounts and like early access to like games and everything, like discounted prices. So,
if
like,
I look at it like realistically, my PS Plus subscription probably pays for itself in the discounts I get on games. Like not that like
and the free games you get every month.
But like not even like forget the free games, just like saving like $5 here, $10 there. Like I probably pay for it. Like
definitely.
I mean, I have no doubt that they'll make this worthwhile in the end. It's just right off the bat, it's not quite enough. It's not quite enough to sell me right away. I mean, obviously,
you're gonna buy it.
I have no fucking choice.
We're gonna get it.
I have no choice.
The family plan is it's good. Like 8 people for $35. Like,
what does that work out to? Fuck, I don't know.
I'm not a mathlete. I can't.
It's
like around
slightly less than $5 a month a year.
Yeah, probably something like that.
For 12 months, so it's like 50 cents, less than 50 cents a person per month.
It's probably.
I think
not
jump
that.
change.
If you have all 8 people on it.
The last thing I'd like to say about this is like I was reading an article about with the virtual console and like how I've kept hope for it, but I seeing obviously what they have now, they're saying it's going away. I think that another thing is with the old virtual console games, they were able to bring like a collection of different types of games from different types of consoles in those eras. And like, I mean, in this past week alone, we've seen the Sega Drive Mini or something like that. You got the fucking
Neo Geo Classic.
The Neo Geo Classic. Like these companies are finding ways to like, they're finding ways to put their games back out and make money for themselves instead of going through Nintendo. And so Nintendo's kind of losing some of those games. But I mean, they have such a huge backlog of first-party games that a lot of people want to go back and play. And like, I have all the Nintendo systems, but I'm not going to go pay $80-$90 to go play Luigi's Mansion again on my GameCube. Like if you gave it to me on here, I would pay $20, $25 maybe, and play like Luigi's Mansion on the Switch.
Yeah.
And I don't see like I feel like they're missing so much. They're missing a lot of money. Like they could be making so much money because like I said, like these free games are games that people have bought over and over again for $5.
Well,
so
let's wait. These are the easiest to port. The fact that they started out with the ones that are easiest to port obviously makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we'll start to see as they are more comfortable with the Switch infrastructure. We'll see SNES, then N64, maybe GameCube on these free games. It'll be like a service. It'll be like Microsoft's We Hate Money service. I forget what that's called.
Game Pass?
Game Pass. But for now,
Well,
I hope that's my dream. That's
Yeah.
my dream.
Well, have you played any of the Neo Geo games, David?
What Metal Slugs are like my favorite.
Right. So
Whatever.
the way that those work, and I'm not saying I've ever used an emulator. All right, so don't quote me on that. But knowing how those work,
If you're
that's
listening,
neither here nor there. But like on an emulator, you can like there's a menu and you can do like a quick save and you can adjust the screen and everything. Like that's in the Switch, and it's running an emulator, right? So if you have the hardware, that shouldn't like you can run Neo Geo games, and you can run the NES games. You should be able to run SNES, N64, Game Boy Advance. Like all these games should be like, whether it takes time, like they need to come to the system, and if you're going to charge for them or not charge for them, like it needs to be set out more clearly, because like right now, even if we all did the Family Pass, there's nothing really pulling me towards it besides the fact that I want to play Smash online with you guys.
You literally
I want to play online.
Exactly.
The thing I foresee, so they say in that quote, there's no plans to bring classic games together under the Virtual Console banner. So they're gonna not call it Virtual Console, and it's gonna be Virtual Console. They're not calling it.
That's my thought.
That is my like reading of that, and I think that's because they don't want to explain to people, hey, you bought this on the Wii U, and like that's fucking sorry, you're gonna buy it again. Like that is my explanation for that.
Plus, you're not paying for these games. I mean, outright, you are paying.
But
for them,
I think later on, and especially with GameCube games, like if the price stays this low, like, and it's not like I don't know, like there is no way I don't think financially they would say just say I bought the year membership for $1.50 a month, I can play a bunch of GameCube games. They're not gonna leave that much money on the table. Like
that reminds me, I thought of this when I was reading it. Is that one of the benefits, or what was it, the special promotions or whatever they would give members? Is I think I told you this, CJ, was maybe because they can't miss out on like the sales that they would have from these Virtual Console games. So maybe by being a member, you have access to like a certain tab on the eShop that's not Virtual Console, but it's retro games, right? And you can, but then at that point, you pay for the online, but then you also are going to be paying for the game.
That would be weird.
That's shitty.
Yeah, that would be.
That's shitty. Don't get me wrong, but like.
That's like being able to walk into
they
the
can't,
back room to get your porno. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like that kind of.
Yeah, but they can't charge this little a month and then like give you all these free games. So, like somewhere they're going to charge you.
I'm trying to think, because I mean, if you think about it, it's like. They have an install base of what? 4 million?
I think
it's like 12, isn't it?
Is it? Okay, I don't. Yeah, you're right. I'm done. That was way
I think it's like 12 or 13.
Okay, you have an install base of like 12 million people, right? You're releasing Smash Brothers. Online's gonna sell crazy just for that.
Yeah.
I tried to look up the number. I don't know what the top selling Virtual Console game is ever.
I would assume it's Mario 3.
I think it is.
It's gotta be Mario 3, right?
It is. I think you're right. I just don't know the number. But if they are going to... I think it almost be more lucrative to put all of the free games, even the GameCube games, on Virtual Console or on online to make it the install base as close to 100 as possible. At such a low price, I feel like that's a net gain of more than putting them up for like $15, $20 a pop. Over the course of like a year, like a fiscal year.
What do you
think about it? Like think about it. You have like close to 100% install base of people who own
buying
Switches.
the online.
People buying
Online.
Okay, I understand.
I think if you put GameCube games and shit on there that people really want, plus Smash, if you cover all your bases,
if you make it so good, like no one
good, no one can say no.
Sell it
that I think would end up
like
making you more than putting Luigi's Mansion on there for $30.
I guess just thinking about it too, like
I don't know,
the reason,
$30,
like
$10.
the only grab for the NES games is like that they added the online multiplayer and like being able to play together. So it's quite possible that they're also working on that for the SNES and like all the other systems as well. So like Mario Strikers on the GameCube. Well, maybe before we put out a new one, now there's a GameCube Mario Strikers that you can play online with your friends.
Ooh, like chills.
That would be interesting if they. Cause right now it sounds like they're kind of doing like the Netflix style kind of thing, and it would be interesting if they had like because all these games are here, they might not always be there forever. Like something like because Netflix like stuff leaves Netflix eventually. It would be interesting if they did that like. For like I talked about it in my hot take right now that you can watch on currentgaming.com.
It's very good.
But like people like the zeitgeist of things, and if they had it 1 month where it was like this is Mario month or this is Zelda month, and all the Zelda games from Wind Waker and back are on there, like that would like maybe incentivize people for that month to subscribe to it, and then they realize, oh hey, this is actually a pretty cool deal. Maybe I stick around.
Maybe the package deals they'll be getting aren't sales. Traditionally, maybe there'll be sales of like package like bundles or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Games.
That would be interesting.
That'd be interesting.
It's all speculation.
Yeah, of course.
My only real take is that the value even for the low price right now just isn't really there for me, and I hope that they do something a little more innovative than NES games.
I don't want to say I don't think it could be better, but I don't want to say the value's not there because like I'm going to buy it like 100%.
Yeah.
Like there's no. Like,
You don't.
I mean, that's
you really
not the
don't have a
issue.
choice.
It's not. It's
I will
not even
buy
that-
it.
Like if I could have the choice. I could forego playing Smash Online. I feel like because we mostly
No, you
played it.
I
locally.
could.
You wouldn't though.
We mostly play it locally. Like if we're being honest with ourselves.
We
like,
won't now. We
I
did
guess
not have a
maybe
Wii
that's
U.
true. Maybe that's true.
That was a totally different story. This is gonna be like a thing.
Yeah, the Wii U were I think what 3 of us owned it.
Yeah,
I
I got like 50 hours in Smash having never
Didn't
owned a
even
Wii U.
own it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
how much we played it.
Fuck, I can't
anyway,
wait.
Anyway, moving on from that, we're going to talk about a little bit of E3 news, and basically it's that Square Enix is having an E3 conference. The story comes from Jason Schreier at Kotaku. It says, after skipping 2016 and 2017, Square Enix is again holding its own press conference this year. The publisher said today, Square's processor will take place Monday morning, blah, 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 blah. Are they going to announce Final Fantasy 16?
No.
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 Are they going to give a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that we'll see is
I think they're going to announce Kingdom Hearts.
Dragon Quest 11 would make sense. Final Fantasy 7 is never gonna happen because that game is like officially in development hell. We won't see a new Final Fantasy. There's no way. It'll probably
100%
mostly
we
be
do.
Kingdom Hearts.
Final Fantasy 16 is what it's closing out on.
No.
Calling it now.
Maybe a
Calling it
teaser.
now.
I mean,
maybe.
okay, so yeah, but like with you could see it, but when's it? You know,
It's
just
not
like,
coming
It's
out
like
in
seeing the
20
Metroid Prime
On the
fucking
PS6,
4.
dude,
You
like,
know.
it'll be on that. I also think the bigger thing that I haven't seen a lot of people talking about is like the Marvel's Avengers partnership they announced a few like years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I think that is gonna get a big blowout there.
Who left
I
mean,
Naughty Dog
this-
to go work on that?
This would be the year to release it, but
I don't remember.
Yeah, this would be the
It's
year.
always
to
gonna
release
be
it.
the fucking
Well,
year
yeah.
to release it. These fuckers
Yeah,
are
that
never gonna
is
stop
true.
coming
It
out.
could happen. The Infinity Gauntlet or whatever, Infinity or Avengers Endgame or whatever is gonna come out next year, so that would work too. But
Cool.
yeah, I think they're gonna have a really good show. I'll be honest with you. Like,
Really?
I
They've
really do.
Historically, not had a very good show.
I
though.
think but like when you take that much time off, like it was like when Bethesda first had their E3, it was fucking awesome. And
Yeah,
now it's
when
like
you,
weighing
like, say
down a
it's
little
like-
bit. You know?
I won't make a. Never mind.
Okay.
It's gonna. Never mind. I think it'll be good, yeah, because it's like Sony right now and Microsoft right now have these like. They've like blown their load. They don't have anything else really big to show off. It's like, what, you're gonna show Last of Us 2 again? Cool, like we know. Spider-Man, yeah, we know.
Well, we're gonna get to that.
But
in a
like,
second.
Square
right.
Enix, who knows what they got cooking, right?
I mean, they got.
I mean, we know 3 things
We know
for
most
sure.
of what they got
For
right.
sure.
Yeah.
But
What
I
was
think
the
they-
one with
There
the
could
guy?
be something completely different.
Oh,
you
that was a
never know.
Konami E3 that I thought it was like ridiculous. And, like,
Oh,
awful.
no, that was Capcom, the caffeine guy, wasn't it?
No, Konami E3 2010. Yeah, never mind. I got
Please don't
way.
start
If you go back and watch old
playing
E3 conferences, it's like insane. They're
It's
wild.
awful.
Square will come out and talk about the Octopath Traveler. They'll talk about
Yeah,
that too.
for sure.
I hope so. That game looks.
But-
Does that
and-
come
and
out
I-
before E3?
I think it comes out in July.
Oh, does it come out in July? I thought it came out like.
Isn't E3 in
I think-
July?
I thought it was June.
I think it's in
literally
June.
set you the E3
Oh, it's
dates
June 9th.
today.
You're right.
Yeah. So I think Octopath Traveler comes out in July.
Okay,
The other
cool.
thing is, and just because like I'm contemplating, and I know I've said this, and like I've kind of reeled this back a little bit. Obviously, not everything's on the Switch, and I was just really going
Don't
hard on
port
that.
big, you motherfucker.
No.
Kingdom Hearts.
I really want to play like some of the older Final Fantasies, and I think if
That would
they
be
were
cool.
to port them to the Switch, they would be able to run. I mean, it's ported on
play 9.
iOS. You know what I'm saying? Like you could port everything up to like 10 or what is it, 11? Whichever one's like the
10.
first online one is 10, right?
Online is 12. That's the first.
Dude,
time.
Capcom's bringing the ports. They get the Mega Man X.
Yeah,
Monster
but like
Hunter.
if you brought like kind of like the Mega Man collections. So there's 2 of them. Like you could bring Final Fantasy 1 through 3 collection, 4 through 6 collection. Like I would be about that. I've contemplated trying to play through, and maybe the next year or so, all the Final Fantasies, skipping 13, 13-2, and Lightning Returns though.
Those are great games.
Nah, I don't know.
The 13 gets good 50 hours in, guys.
Great,
Don't worry.
great combat system. Anyway, outside of that, there is Sony finally announced that they're having an E3 conference, which we all knew. The story comes from Timur Hussein at GameSpot. It says Sony has detailed some of the games that they will focus on at E3 2018. You don't have to do 2 different timestamps, it doesn't matter.
Too late.
Yeah, it is too late.
Speaking on the PlayStation Blogcast, chairman of Sony Interactive Entertainment and Worldwide Studios, Sean Layden, indicated that PlayStation won't have a traditional press conference and will instead feature exclusive looks and deep dives on 4 upcoming titles known as Death Stranding, Ghosts of Tsushima, Spider-Man, and The Last of Us Part 2.
Those are all fire, though.
Yeah, that is
That's
very
they
much
really
fire.
are.
That's
They're all good
actually
games.
more preferable. I'm kind of hyped for that.
Then he did also say that there is going to be like third-party stuff, like obviously there. So I assume we'll see Call of Duty and Destiny.
I want some indies, dude. I want some like Devolver announcements.
And
They
then-
said games from indie
Oh,
developers.
Devolver's
Yeah,
going, aren't
Devolver's
they?
having one, right?
Oh, let's go.
No, Devolver's is like an art piece. Like whenever they.
It's-
It's better than everything
It
else.
is.
It's fucking
It
weird.
was weird, but I thought it was.
It's like the Too
pretty
Many
funny.
Cooks video of the E3
It's so funny. Oh,
they
they're
also
gonna be there.
they also said Sean Layden did indicate that there will not be PlayStation hardware unveiled. Not surprising anybody, I don't think, but kind of put those rumors to bed that like a PS5 is near and people are being dumb.
Yeah.
But all right, so he says exclusive.
Wait, what?
looks-
Sorry, wait. Go back. What did you just say?
They're not
You said
announcing a
there's
PS5.
No hardware.
No hardware.
Okay, it sounded like you said he'd be announcing
did
hardware.
sound
Is what I
like that.
what I heard.
No hardware.
That's
I just
what
I don't want to make it clear.
No
No
hardware.
hardware. Article says no hardware.
They did say the quote is exclusive looks and deep dives on 4 upcoming titles: Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, Last of Us Part 2. What do you think that means? Does that mean we're gonna see gameplay for those games?
Gameplay
I would
absolutely
hope so.
better.
Are we gonna see
If it's
blowout?
gonna be a deep dive, I hope it's not just a bunch of like cutscenes for like 10 minutes.
No, it'll be gameplay
Right.
for all of them.
Well,
Ghost of oh fuck, what was it called?
Ghost
of what?
Tsushima?
Ghost of
I didn't
Tsushima.
want to say something
Yeah.
like ignorant.
Oh, you're good.
It was
That's
like
everything that comes out of your mouth.
fuck off. It looks really good. That's the one I'm maybe most hyped for out of those 4.
I'm most excited for that. Who's making that again?
That
Infamous
is from
boys.
Infamous developers Sucker Punch.
It seems like
Open
something they
world,
want to make,
samurai.
which tells me it's gonna be good. So that's hype.
Yeah.
Death Stranding, like all those games are fucking damn.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome if they really
will be
go
cool.
like hard and like show
Like,
you off.
show you
Like
off
that's what I mean by them
stuff.
not really having a huge announcement. I think this is a good pivot. This is like working with your strengths, and
It's like, here's what we got. Look at how great it all is.
it's funny because in the same podcast I talked about Split Screen, they were like, well, maybe instead of having big announcements of hey, here's the game that's being made, we should have the big reveal be here's what you can do in the game, or
Like
here's what the game
what
is
I think
like.
of when I hear that is when they blew out Fallout that year. It came out where there was like the narrator voice. It's like, and look at how you can build a wall that is crooked.
Yeah, yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can put together the city, which is not that fun.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and stuff like that.
But that's fun. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Um,
I
like
think
the
I
Red
would
Dead
prefer
videos.
that over, here's a game we're making. You will know nothing about
I
it
don't
for
know.
the next 3 years.
I agree with you, and like in my heart of hearts, yeah, that is how things should be. But on a vain side of me, I like seeing the holy
yeah,
shit
no, it's
Final
fun.
Fantasy VII remake kind of thing. It's fun.
Yeah, no, that's fun.
I think that there's gonna be something still. There's always that and one more thing. There's always something like that.
Dude.
Personally, I don't think Spider-Man should be such a deep dive with it coming out in
It's
September.
coming out like 2 months later.
I think that we already have seen enough of Spider-Man. I don't
Game
need to see
Informer's
more.
got They're fucking
Yeah,
balls deep in that shit right now. I get it.
Yeah, I've seen enough of Spider-Man. I'm excited about it still. I don't want to.
I don't want to watch anything about it. It's
I don't
so
want to watch
soon.
anything else. I'd rather just play it.
I agree with you.
But like Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, and The Last of Us Part 2.
Give me some. What's it like? Yeah, give me some. Give me
Give
like
me some
something.
gameplay. I mean, okay, the trailer last year was cool and creepy, and
Contentious in our group.
and it was. But like, let's see
Was
some
it?
gameplay. Let's
Oh,
see.
I thought we were talking about. I
big
thought we were talking about
fucking-
Death Stranding. I thought we were talking about Death Stranding.
Oh no, that was.
I was like, I thought we all liked the baby fetus eating.
that was
I
awesome.
thought that was cool.
No, that was good.
Cool, whatever. I mean,
No, I
that's
like
great.
the Death Stranding one.
I'm most excited. This is gonna sound weird. I'm most excited for Microsoft's because I'm just like, how are you gonna stay in the games business?
Gears
This
of War
is your
5. Walmart
last
told
There-
us.
there
fucking
was-
chance.
There was a article put out of like just all the profits from all the big. And Microsoft still makes like a shit ton of money, so like I don't.
Well,
think
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think they're.
It's funny because it's like the opposite of Sony, because Sony's like only profitable market is games.
yeah.
And then Microsoft is like, they're like,
Like not even Microsoft's games division makes a shit ton of money. On its own,
really?
Yeah. But like Sony, obviously.
That's because everybody that has an Xbox One, they all buy into the first party stuff because they don't have anything else to do.
Well, it's not even that they buy it. Like they all like they have such a heavy thing with the Xbox Live and stuff like that is also a big, I would say, a factor.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the thing I wanted to say earlier that I almost interrupted Drew and then fucked this whole rhythm up was that I was trying to say you said Game Informer's balls deep with Spider-Man. That is a gross term, and we don't like appreciate how gross the term balls deep is. Like you said
outta
that,
here.
and I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like that's a normal. I would say that in the company of my teacher, my pastor, a nun. But balls
locker room
deep,
talk, buddy.
balls deep
You
is
can't
a
handle
doesn't-
it. Get out.
it is part of my. It's a visceral term. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? You know what happened in my brain when I said that? Nothing. Didn't even
No,
fuck.
same
Just
here.
came right
I
through the
I
whole
just- yeah.
fucking gullet. Don't even
Balls
fuck it.
The only thing missing, and I don't want to get into the discussion of the game itself. The only thing missing is Days Gone,
Yeah, that was
which
my
is
point.
actually
Makes
getting
no
a
sense.
focused, which is getting a Game Informer. Like that's the cover. Like that's
Game
the
Informer's
big
about to be
fucking article.
balls
They're
deep in
getting
Days Gone.
balls deep and Days Gone. So like,
When you say it like that,
you know what I'm saying?
Stop.
I know, but like,
All of you.
but why isn't that like that? I thought that was one of the bigger titles they were trying to push
Oh,
for. So
100%.
instead of
It's almost like
Spider-Man,
everybody was ambivalent towards it, and it was like,
yeah,
what is this?
But like instead of Spider-Man, which already has a release date, we've already seen plenty of
is
gameplay and like
interesting
special
that
pre-order stuff and like suits. Like, why wouldn't you put Days Gone in instead? Because we don't have a release date for that still.
That is very interesting to see what they will do.
Although they did deep dive it last year.
yeah,
but
they
it was
did
kinda
give like a big like show.
and then they're like, we got to push this back again.
Are
So
you drinking out of a gallon jug of water? For a second, I thought you had a thing, a canteen, but then you were like holding it for so long. I thought you were vaping out of a canteen, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on over there?" In
No, I'll tell you
fucking-
about
No,
my water
we
now.
buy gallon jugs of water because
That's
we're
recommended. It's
fucking
nice.
weirdos.
I don't. Hey man, do what you gotta do. That's it for the news this week. We got some good news talk in there, but that brings us to our next segment of the show, which is called Other Listeners' Mail. It is when we take mail from other podcasts that we listen to, and we just kind of co-opt it, make it our own. Because not a lot of people. Again, if you have any question at all,
Literally
we will
anything.
answer it. And fuck, god damn it. What was the thing where you could anonymously send things to people?
Oh, Spring no.
Spring,
There's been so many of them.
Form
There's like
Spring,
Ask
Form
FM,
Form
like Form
Spring.
Spring.
Oh,
Form
yeah.
Spring me any questions you have, and I'll hit
Yeah.
them up. If you
Oh, yeah.
send them on Napster, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of app that is available, I will read.
Put it
the
in
question.
put it into LimeWire as the world is a vampire.mp4
Post them on
and then
Whisper.
send it to me. And I will
Please,
read your
if you
question.
send it by Raven, by Pigeon, any kind of carrier
That'd be
bird,
sweet.
I will read your question. But until then, we have this question that comes from GameScoop, in which Harry from Washington says, "Hey Damon and crew, none of us. We are no one is named Damon. We are a crew of some sort.
Almost
With Nintendo's online service being laid out this week, and it being their first venture into online gaming, I was wondering what your first foray into online gaming was. Thanks, Scoop Crew, and I hope to hear from you in the future."
What? Who?
Go crew.
We are none of us are part of the Scoop Crew, but thank you, Harry from Washington, for asking a different podcast a question that we are now going to take and answer ourselves. So, first online gaming experience. What was the first game you played online?
Probably RuneScape.
Yeah, I don't know if it was RuneScape or Habbo Hotel for me.
Ooh. Yeah,
I think
Habbo
Habbo
might
might have
been.
come
Oh
first.
fuck! I gotta think way back then.
And Gaia Online. That was a big thing for me.
Maybe it was like Worms or something. Like wait, was that online? The Flash version of Worms? It was like the.
Don't know.
I wanted to say Halo 2, but I think RuneScape. I think RuneScape was a little before that for me. I remember getting Xbox Live being like the big thing in our house. We had dial-up,
Yeah.
so my mom would get like a work call and it'd be like
Yeah.
disconnected. I'd just be like,
RuneScape,
You
RuneScape
can't
was
play.
definitely a big one for me. The one I was like when I first read this question and suggested it to you guys, I knew mine. I knew it was Time Splinters 2. That was the game I played online.
That was
a bunch.
online?
And no, it wasn't. I was just playing
Oh.
with bots and thought
And
it was
thought it
online
was.
as a child. So that-
he's over here
Oh.
killing all these bots. He's like, dude, I could go
Dude,
pro
I
in Time
always wanted
Splitters
to
too.
play Time Splitters 2.
8-year-old CJ thought he was a fucking goon at some Time Splinters 2, and he just was not.
PC wise, yeah, it was RuneScape. I think That's probably
Dude, RuneScape
for most of us.
game.
But as far as console gaming goes, I've said it before on the podcast. I didn't play anything other than Nintendo consoles until I bought my first console myself, which was a 360. So Burnout Paradise and Call of Duty Modern Warfare were my first online
How we traditionally
experiences.
Like,
Yeah, I think I used to be good at Modern Warfare until...
in 360
Yeah.
no scoping them. I remember
No, not that good.
On the PS2, I did play online on the PS2. I had a fat PS2 forever. I never got a slim one ever. But I had the fat one, which requires you to get the network adapter. The fat extension part of it.
Same, I don't think I got it though.
And then you had to get... I bought that off of eBay, back when eBay was fucking Wild West. And it didn't come with
Still
the
is.
install disc for it.
Oh no.
And I had to buy
Oops.
an install disc separately on eBay that then came scratched up and had to buy another. It was a whole fucking mess. But anyway, I digress. There was a Ratchet and Clank game that had some sort of multiplayer element to it that I definitely played on PS2.
Okay.
I have no idea what it was. I think it was probably the one in Time. What's that one called? A Wrench in Time or something like that?
Crack in Time?
Crack in Time.
No.
I think it was
Crack
probably
in
that
Time,
one.
yeah.
No, it wasn't that one.
I think
I
it
don't
was.
know. I forgot if that was what it was called.
Oh, okay. I don't. I think that was probably it, but I'm not 100% sure. But it was fun nonetheless, and yeah, online games
that's
being so ubiquitous nowadays, it's interesting to see that we all started with RuneScape, dude. Were you guys members? I remember begging my mom to be a fucking member.
I wasn't a member
Yeah, I
until
was.
a couple years ago.
God, wasn't it only $15? Was it $5 a month?
I think it was $15 a month. It
It
was
was
like
expensive.
absurd.
It's like a WoW
Yeah,
membership.
yeah.
No, I was. Because I was a spoiled only child, so that was nice.
Yeah, I
same,
wasn't.
same, bro. I remember, dude, when I first did it, I stayed up all night one night playing. I went was just farming I don't know what you farmed in that game, but I was
Everything.
farming
Anything.
something
Yeah.
where I just killed a bunch of oysters or something by a pond. I don't know,
Lobsters?
Lobsters maybe. I don't
Yeah,
fucking
maybe
know.
you were fishing. I don't
And
know.
I was just
What, fishing
making
level?
so much money. Yeah, that was probably it.
Nice.
So it was all.
Every
Yeah.
time.
That was a big, and you could go to the Coliseum and fight people. I remember that. That was really cool.
I played that game in college again because there was like an old school RuneScape.
Yeah,
that
no, I played it. You
4chan
bought
set
me.
up.
That's when I became a member. He bought me a month
played
of
on, like, a
membership.
bootleg
It
server.
was fucking awesome.
It was awesome.
I would play it
community
right
was
now.
Terrible. It was so fun.
That game
It
was
is
a
terrible.
blast.
I love it.
But that brings us to our next segment on the show, where we talk about the games that are coming out this week. So, Drew, if you're feeling okay, you're feeling up to it, you can tell us what games are popping off this week for us.
All right, so first, next week we have Battle Chasers Night War, which I believe is out on everything else. It is just now coming to the Switch on May 15th. Dragon's Crown Pro, which is a remaster of Dragon's Crown from the PS3.
Correct.
It's coming out on the PS4
What
on
did
May
you say?
15th as well. It's a remaster
It's a
of
remake.
Dragon's Crown.
David, what did David say?
I said
Correct.
correct.
He said erect. Oh, that makes sense.
Erect.
Full
Well,
of
when you
them.
play this game, maybe.
Killing it.
That's
Get to that.
And then we get our first look at and a chance to play the first Banner Saga coming to the.
Yeah, let's fucking go!
Very excited. So the first Banner Saga is coming to the Switch on
maybe
May
I'll get
17th.
that.
Fucking
And then,
buy a great tactical turn.
Aaron's not here. We always
Really
like to poke fun and always say Aaron's super hype about this game, but Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition
That is
coming
that
out.
is a running joke. I forgot that we did that.
on May 18th. So those are the most notable games. I wanted to talk about real quick. Did you look up that game that I didn't know came out last week because it just dropped? It's called the Laser League.
I did look at this. It looks.
That game looks
it
fun.
It looks pretty cool. Like it
It does.
Look up the laser. League.
Oh, I've seen
It doesn't look like
something
you've seen.
It kind of reminds me. Okay, all right.
about this.
Honestly, it reminds me. Remember when Disc Jam was free and we
Yes,
all played?
that's what it-
You and I played
yeah,
that.
that's what it
I looked at it and I was like, "Oh, dude,
Fuck.
Disc Jam was fun." I think if I could get Laser League for free, That might be
She's
a thing
getting
we
like
do.
impeccably good reviews though.
Yeah, it looks.
Oh,
really
I know.
cool.
Yeah, I watched the
Isn't
trailer
it like
for it. They're saying,
$9?
Yeah.
yeah, it's not
Dude,
expensive.
I'll get it if you guys get it.
I don't know about all that. You're asking a lot.
Well, what is it? Is it like a competitive like?
Yeah,
multiplayer?
It's like
Competitive, arcade.
3-on-3.
Is it
Yeah,
like
3-on-3,
video
and I guess different
Dude, I would get video
different
ball.
characters. Different characters can put out different types of laser lines, and then if your opponent gets hit by him, you score
Whoa.
points. I think, and everyone's
this
got
looks
power
fun.
ups.
It's from the Ali developers.
Dude, I want to get this. Somebody
Yeah,
get
it looks
this
good.
With me.
I just
Stop playing
wanna-
fucking Fortnite every day and get this.
I didn't realize that it, like, I didn't know it was coming out last week, but also probably wouldn't have thought much of it. But,
Yeah.
after
But
I
it
saw
does
it today,
look
I
really
wanted to just. It does look fun.
This looks cool. I might pick this up.
Okay.
This is exactly the kind of game I've been looking for. A
Is
nice
this a
little
David
arcadey
game?
multiplayer game. Absolutely a David.
There's a David Morgan joint right here.
You like knock them into the fucking. Dude, that's brutal. You just like clothesline them with your little laser beams.
So those are the games coming out this week. Thank you, Drew. And that
That's
brings
fun.
us to the last segment of our show where we talk about what we have been playing. And I know, Drew, on Saturday you put up a Let's Play of a game called Garage or Garage.
Yeah.
That you really enjoyed. So tell me about that.
Yeah, sure. Garage was a Nintendo Direct featured game, but they didn't show much about it because Nintendo is so family friendly, and they've been putting these M-rated games on here. But with the Direct, they're like, can't be showing the blood, can't be showing the gore. So it's like
They just didn't show anything.
they didn't. Well, yeah, they really didn't show anything. So I put up this Let's Play on Saturday of playing up until Chapter 5. I don't know how many chapters there are. It's about a half hour long, me playing the game. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty fun. I think it's one of those games that is you get more out of it. You play it with headphones. It's very atmospheric, and like the first encounter with zombies, just like really loud.
It's a top-down Hotline Miami style kind of thing, right?
I would describe it as like it's not nearly as quick as Hotline Miami. It's a lot slower. But sure, like top-down Hotline Miami.
Just so we have a
but
basic
then almost.
premise.
I kind of felt like I was getting vibes of almost like a Resident Evil and a Hotline Miami like baby. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. A sweet
And,
baby. Resident Evil
yeah.
went balls deep into Hotline Miami.
Oh my god.
And in the Let's Play you'll be able to see like there's some trippy moments, take some drugs, and get a little bit of the backstory. But I definitely want to put some more time into it. I'm not sure how long the game is. That's always a big thing for me. I don't have a lot of time, so like if being a father and all, it's like
you don't want them seeing this unfriendly game that Nintendo would.
I don't care about that.
Okay, all right, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
But you
yeah,
are enjoying it. You're hoping to pick it back up.
Yeah. I'm gonna finish it probably in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. The only other game I haven't got to playing is Immortal Redneck, but I'll get there. You know what I'm
Does
saying?
it remind you at all of Dead Nation? Like not as like
Yeah,
like,
a little bit. I mean, I don't think you get a gun until the end of Chapter 4,
Yeah.
and like I finished Chapter 4 and then ended the video at Chapter 5.
Yeah.
So I haven't messed with the gunplay yet. You know what I'm saying? But
Shout out to Gunplay, dude. Underrated rapper, dude.
I mean, there's a lot of things that it brings in. There's a stamina thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's any way to build that up. There's there's energy drinks that give you unlimited stamina for a certain amount of time. You can eat chocolate bars. There's med kits that slowly regen your health and everything. Everything seems. It wasn't like super scarce, but I'm also, like I said, only at Chapter 5. I don't know how many chapters there are.
Alright.
But from the trailer, there's a lot of. It seems like there's really like fucked up bosses. Looks like there's a human centipede in this game. I want to fight
hot.
that.
Cool.
So, hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, be sure if you haven't yet checked out the Let's Play on that went up Saturday.
Yeah.
On a Saturday.
Check that on out. David, I know you reviewed a game called with boobies in it.
Yeah, it has a lot of boobies. It's called Dragon's Crown Pro. It's Dragon's Crown from PS3 and Vita with cross-save, cross-play on PS4. 4K.
So if I had it on PS3, I could transfer my save over to PS4.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And if you had it on Vita, we could play together, etc. So that's cool. Really liked that. It's kind of rare. Has a re-recorded orchestral soundtrack. So the original soundtrack was apparently pretty good. I did not play the original. So I like Dragon's Crown Pro. I do like brawlers. So I really liked the Scott Pilgrim game. Loved it. Streets of Rage. Cheyenne's into that.
Simpsons game.
Simpsons arcade game is actually incredible.
It's fun.
Castle Crashers. I like those games. They're not like my absolute favorites, but I like them. Dragon's Crown is like that, but with Diablo style loot. So you pick up a bunch of loot and you have to appraise it back in town, and you can decide if you want to spend money to identify it or sell it. So that's really cool. That grind and that loot system is A+. But the game, just like a lot of Vanillaware games, is really repetitive. It's like 9 maps. and there's 2 branching paths per map, and they each lead to two different bosses. So there's 18 bosses. That's the whole game. So you've seen the whole game in about 6 or 7 hours, and then the rest of it is just grinding, which for some people is going to be awesome because there's pretty good character depth. The combat's fun. The gear is awesome. You just got a lot of bonuses and things. But personally, it's not really my cup of tea. I do like good action RPGs, but it felt a little stilted, like have to go back to town and then go back out and blah, blah, blah. And I did talk about the character designs because everybody should know that there are some like crazy, silly character designs in this game.
And by silly, you mean incredibly misogynistic, correct?
They're sexist, yes.
Cool.
It's very objectifying to women.
Just making sure.
I'm sugarcoating it because, I mean, I reviewed it and I've never reviewed a game. I mean, I haven't been reviewing games long, but I've never reviewed a game that had misogynistic imagery in it before, so I didn't really know how to handle it. I don't think... My main argument is that, like, as long as you can acknowledge that it's there and critique it and understand why sexism is bad and objectifying women is bad, you shouldn't feel bad for liking the game. If you like Dragon's Crown, all fucking means, dude, go for it. And I don't even mind sexy women in my games. Like, Bayonetta owns her sexiness. She's hot and she has agency.
I don't mind sexy women in my games, dude.
I don't mind it.
And that's like...
Put it on the box.
I mean, I think I have a good point.
No,
that's like...
I'm just
that's like...
with you.
Yeah.
I know. But, like, Bayonetta is, like, a good example of how a character can own their sexiness and have agency, and that is, like, the whole draw. But Dragon's Crown characters are just kind of there to be vessels for the player to go out and fuck shit up, which, you know, would be fine, but the character designs are just so... Every goddamn woman in the game, besides maybe, like, the elf...
Besides the elf, and she's thick, so...
Yeah, she's got them thighs, but every woman that you come across, that you see in shops, that you
ridiculous.
See on the street is
Their
posed and
boobs
drawn. And
go like this,
so,
just they're standing because that's how women breathe.
like, you come across a nun, and like, battle nun. It's kind of badass. She's got all this armor on and shit.
Battle nun.
Yeah, but and she's fully clothed, and they're like, well, fuck, how do I make this sexy? So they just spread her legs open in front of the camera, like, as she's like downed and hurt.
As the
or
Lord
whatever. I'm like, come the fuck on, dude. Like, this is not like something that you did and oh, that's just my art style. This was all very deliberate, and you should feel pretty awful for like not at all having any representation that is not just hey, fuck me, please. Like, it's just like, come on, grow up. But I mean, the game is great. The art is beautiful. Make no fucking mistake. The art is goddamn beautiful. I love the art style of Vanillaware games. Odin Sphere did it really well without having sexist designs. I mean, I wouldn't say at all. Velvet is like, but she's a character is the difference. Velvet is one not as sexualized as any of the people in this game. Also, she's like a character with motivations and you know, at least some agency. So like this is not like this is like kind of a weird step for them, and you know, whatever. I'll criticize it. That artist can do what he wants, but I'm gonna call it out. But the game is fun. I gave it a 7. If you like brawlers, if you like loot grinds, absolutely for you. I thought it was a good game. It's definitely a lot more fun with friends. So there's that. That's my Dragon's Crown Pro review abridged.
Cool. And then Cheyenne, you've been playing with some pretty girl. That was weird. Mercy, that was a bad transition.
Gross.
Mercy got a new skin in Overwatch, so you hop back in there to become the world's most toxic Overwatch.
How much was that skin again?
$15. That's not how much the skin is. You donate $15.
Yeah, I donate $15
breast
to
cancer
Blizzard's
research.
fucking wallet when I buy.
You donate $15 to breast cancer research, and you get a very pretty Mercy skin as a reward. You're not buying a skin; you're donating money. So, yeah.
I mean, you are spending money, like.
Yeah, no, you are spending money.
Okay, I just wanted to make
going,
that clear. All right, no,
I could give all my money to
100% of that money is going.
That's cool. That's very cool that they're
toward
doing
research.
That. I think a lot of companies do that around May because of Mother's Day and stuff like that, and breast cancer awareness and stuff like that. I know Major League Baseball, getting off on a tangent, they do that where everything like bats are pink and stuff like that. Anyway, you've been playing Overwatch a little bit.
Yeah. Pink Mercy's awesome. First of all. There's also sprays that you can get for watching like participating streams on Twitch. If you watch like a total of 6 hours, you get all of the sprays and icons, and they're all extremely cute.
6 fucking hours
total, and it's going on for over a week.
Oh,
so
all right.
Yeah, and all of the streamers that they're highlighting are women, which is awesome.
Is Greguri, is that her name? Is she one of them? Is she a streamer or does she just play Overwatch?
I don't know.
League
She's probably too
The
busy to stream
Prosaria?
anyway. Yeah. But I don't think she's on the list, no.
That's her name.
There's
right?
also...
Greguri?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's her, like, tag.
Yeah.
There's also a t-shirt that you can buy with a really, really cute design with Pink Mercy on it. If you don't want to get the skin or if you want to do both. But yeah, I've just been getting back into it. The arcade has been really fun lately. They've had, like today I've been playing No Limits, and then they had Total Mayhem, which is also
Total
one of my
Mayhem is where
favorites.
we have like 800 health and fucking
Yeah. It's so fun. It's so crazy. I love it. And it just, there's like so many fun ways that you can play the game. Like in No Limits, like there will be like 3 Mercies and like 3 Divas. That's not how many players can be in a game. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do my placements for season 10.
Oh, I guess I could talk about that. Cheyenne and I did our placements. We haven't played since season 5, I think, and our ranks decayed to where I was 1600 and she was 1300, and we
Is
won.
that how that works?
We won 8 games, so like it for sure was not us that caused it to be that low.
Well, no, I think now you get placed below where you belong on purpose.
Like,
Yeah.
The
So
last
that you
rank
can
I had was
climb.
2100, and I got demoted to 1600
Yeah.
That doesn't
You
make
wanna-
sense.
for winning
speak
8
on
games. I won
rankings?
8 games too, by the way.
Yeah.
You want to speak on rankings though? We ranked back in Rocket League.
Yeah,
You and
son.
I
I guess we did do that. Your boy,
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Thanks for
fucking.
inviting
yeah.
me,
We,
dickheads.
I
We
totally
did.
texted you.
Oh,
we
I
did.
So,
We invited you
we
to
did
triples. We ranked in duos. I'm gold 3 and he's plat 1.
Yeah, I was plat 2. Anyway,
You're plat 2 now. Okay, we've played
yeah,
more since we
played a
ranked,
little bit.
but
I definitely texted.
and
you.
we're
I
not
don't
bad.
know when you did this because I don't.
We didn't
remember
lose. We didn't lose too much of our skill. We've
Yeah,
done
we-
some
we-
pretty
we've been
pretty sick
you
stuff.
kicked the rust off. You know what I'm saying? You greased
Yeah.
the wheels.
Yeah. Mhm,
Other
mhm.
other tire and car terminology. Velocity.
I'll hop
channel.
back
Give me your crates. You know, it's
Yeah, I've
good.
been giving them this crate. They got a new crate. It's called like the Angel crate or some shit. I can't remember what the fuck. It's
Oh, really? Cool.
called.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Overwatch still cool. It's
Yeah,
really fun.
no,
That game's
I've
real
gotten
fun.
back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still good. It got me to play Mercy again. Buying the skin got me to play her again after
Getting-
she was completely ruined.
Is she still like real
So-
broken? I don't understand her at all.
It's not as fun.
I see less of her now. I see a lot more
Yeah.
Lucios nowadays.
I would rather play Moira if I could.
And Moira, yeah, Moira's a big one.
She's really great, but and now everybody is playing Brigitte.
Brigitte's awesome.
So
Brigitte, like, she's not a dedicated healer. I wouldn't call her a healer.
No,
she isn't. So like you'll need more.
You
heals,
need a
but-
Lucio or a Moira, I feel like. Still.
Yeah, I agree. But she's a lot, and the Hanzo changes have made him so powerful.
No, Hanzo's
Like his
awesome.
storm arrow, like just absolutely shreds through things now.
I can't imagine on PC. I'm sure it's much worse because you can aim so much better. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
oh god, yeah. It's and like
Yeah,
he can just
it's-
dash away from you now. It's fucking
Yeah,
like there was
it's a lot.
Cheyenne and I after we did our placements, we were playing the 6v6 like competitive. What is it called? Competitive like brawl or
The elimination.
elimination. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was. She was a Lucio, and she had somebody else with her, and there was one Hanzo left, and she booped him off the side, and then he jumped back, and I was like, "Fuck
Oh
off!"
my god.
It was like heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's real interesting now. That I played and I've watched her play a bunch of the like eight person free for all, and like a bunch of Hanzos get played in that now. Like it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Junkrat
Anna
Soldier,
now-
Hanzo.
Yeah, Anna can nano boost herself in the free for all now.
Oh, really?
Like you can't,
Yeah,
you
you
don't
just
have any
get-
teammates,
yeah.
so which
That's
is
rad.
really
That's
interesting.
really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our podcast, episode 52 of the Current Gaming Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/currentgaming, on Twitter at currentgaming_, on YouTube at youtube.com/currentgaming, and twitch.com/currentgaming_. I was just
Twitch.tv.
oh, it is twitch.tv. I was just reading them on the bottom, so I was like craning
Yeah.
my head to move around my mic.
I see.
You can find me on Twitter at Charles Steele. You can find me on Instagram at Charles Steele. The hashtag Charlie's 1 minute reviews. Man, just watch this. That's all I care about in my life. Apple software update, go away. Drew, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Trophy Pops. You can find me on Tuesdays, Mondays, and Thursdays on all the shows that I'm on.
Oh yeah, I guess I should have said that. Friday you can watch the hot take too.
Yeah, and then
Sure.
Current Goes Retro, Nintendo Corner, and the Let's Plays that I'll do.
Obviously, the Let's Plays will probably be streaming more and stuff like that. Cheyenne, where can everybody find you?
I'm on Twitter at PoofFlowers, and David and I do a show every Wednesday called Current Couples.
Awesome. And David, last but not least, where can everybody find you?
I am My Guy Dave on Twitter.
Alrighty. This has been the Current Game Podcast, episode 53, and peace.